Okay, I'm gonna go real fast here. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, you're gonna hear Darren in a minute. He's recording something in the studio. Wanted to get to the possibility of some ice and snow on Thursday. And if I have to whisper, that's because he's recording. Okay, let's go through some maps. We've seen it over and over again. The snow totals being inflated, and the question is, will that happen again on Thursday? If you look at the surface features, it looks pretty good, but there's some devil in the details, as it were. Okay, so let's show you some stuff here. Okay, so here are the two maps, and this looks familiar, doesn't it? This is much more snow for the Euro. I mean, this is, you know, that's 12 plus in here, and DC's 9 to 12, and it goes all the way down to Richmond. Now the GFS has this little, like, this is significant snow, 3 to 6, but it's kind of a hole in between either side of 90, either side of 66 and Route 50. To the north, yeah, 6 to 9. To the south, 6 to 9, and heck, way south, it's 9 to 12. So again, we're seeing the battle of the models, and we'll see which one, you know, ends up correct. I will say they're pretty similar in spitting out some snow before the changeover. It's not going to be a pure snow. So this is 6 o'clock Thursday morning, and already a little bit of snow along I-81, and maybe a trace along I-95. But look what happens. By lunchtime, 4 inches already in D.C., 7 inches already in Harrisonburg. Okay, and even 3.5 in Fredericksburg, and again, that's noon. Okay, it's 6 o'clock, 8 inches in D.C., 9 in Gaithersburg, 13 in Lorain, even 5 in Fredericksburg. So this is kind of the sweet spot for the European, and we know it's done this before, and it's taken it away. And this is Thursday at 6 p.m. Not much is going to add to that after that. Okay, now, whoopsie. Here is the European. Here's the American model by noon. So about 8 inches by about 8 inches by noon. Okay, and the sweet spot is now south into Culpeper and Orange and Fredericksburg. So the Euro, once again, I mean, the GFS is like what the Euro did before, taking it south. Now, we'll see what happens. This would give less to Hagerstown and more to Fredericksburg. And again, this is the American model. Even though it has a hole here, still cranks out 8 inches for DCA. And then it does crank out some more by 6 p.m. on Thursday up into Frederick and also into Hagerstown. I'm looking for questions here. Okay, there we go. Good. Okay, so you know, we've seen this over and over again, and it is frustrating. I mean, we should get a pretty good burst of snow before it changes Thursday morning. I think Thursday morning roads will be pretty bad Thursday morning. All right. Now, I got to talk about some ice, too. So, a little bit of ice possible out to the west tonight. Not a huge deal. No problems. There's advisories there, but they're going to be canceled, I think, after midnight. Now we go to 6:30 on Friday morning. This would be troubling. 0.35 is serious. That'd be ice storm warning criterion. And then 0.52 would be devastating. Now, this includes sleet and also ice accretion. I think up here you're going to be okay with more sleet than anything. So that's the European model. It's bullish on snow. It's bullish on ice. And we've seen this, you know, over and over again. So the American model has nothing really overnight, which is good. And then we get into, again, I'll stop at early Friday morning. And it's got pretty significant ice. Heck on it. You would think the pointer would continue working, wouldn't you? Down to the south and west of us. And a pretty good glaze everywhere. You know, 1 to 2 tenths is pretty serious. It's not devastating, but it's pretty serious. So, okay. Let's see if I missed anybody yet. Okay. Yeah, that's good. But I'm okay now, Jennifer. I can talk now. Most likely the last winter storm for us. Well, Lester, let's hope not. I mean, it's always March, but there's not much after this. I will agree with that. Okay. Hi, everybody. Judy, you should be able to hear me. Hi, Tom. I'm trying, Joyce. I'm trying. You know, it's just, it's blood from a turnip this year. It really is. So let's talk about, you know, things that, this is the NAM. This is a short-term model, so there's nothing overnight to worry about. And then this doesn't really have that much. It doesn't go all the way into Friday. Here are the advisories, and again, I think these are going to be canceled pretty soon. They go till 7 o'clock, and it's just simply for light freezing rain. That's all it's for. So I wouldn't worry about it. You guys are going to be above freezing here by 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So let's talk about Thursday some more. So it's not a pure snow, but expect a period of moderate to even heavy snow Thursday morning. I think that looks, you know, nothing's a lock, but that looks, everyone's pretty much in agreement with that. Most of the models I've seen, 4 or 5 models have that. But snow changes to a mix, and significant icing is possible DC north and west. Now the question is, where does the sleet fall, and where does the freezing rain fall? Sleet, you know, will make things slick, but it won't stick to power lines and trees and cause power outages. And then our friends to the south and east, I mean, snow goes to a mix to rain south and east Thursday. Now, what happens is that may happen the last 20% of the event, which means you might still get a substantial amount of snow and ice yourself before you go to rain. So don't think you're out of the crosshairs here for the Thursday storm if you live south of town. All right, there's a radar for tonight, and this is just so frustrating if you like snow. This could have been a great little snow for us. That's going to be heavy rain. It's going to be heavy to moderate rain overnight. There's all your heavy snow bands in through the Ohio Valley and then back into northern Pennsylvania and New York State. And we'll zoom in a little bit, and you know, already we're seeing some pretty good rains around Warrenton. And there's a little bit of mixed precipitation back here. You guys are right around 32. I'll show you temps. There's not going to be a problem. There's really not. And what happens is when this surge of moisture comes flying up here tonight, it's going to pull up warmer air, and you guys will go from 32 to probably 35 by 3 o'clock in the morning. In fact, I'll take you through the FUTURECAST. This is 1:30. You're already at 34 in Winchester, 39 in DC. Look at this red down here. Rumble of thunder possible? Yeah, maybe. Certainly heavy downpour. But then good news, you know, by 6 a.m. on Tuesday, it's pretty much gone. A few residual showers. And then winds really pick up. We'll see sunshine, and we should hit, you know, maybe 53 Tuesday at 1. Maybe some 40 still in the burbs, but not a bad day. Winds could gust over 30, and then the colder air comes back in as we see some cold air getting ready for our little Thursday event. Well, Angel, why not? I think we've been pretty good this year. I mean, tell me what specifically you know, what was wrong, and we'll work on it. But I feel we've done very well with our snow and ice maps. I really do. You're never going to draw a perfect snow map, but remember, you draw perfect snow maps, you're drawing inches equaling 1/10 of an inch of rain. But I think we did pretty well on Friday for Saturday's storm. We never said it would be bad downtown, but a glaze. Talked about more sleet than snow, west of 95. I mean, more sleet than freezing rain, west of 95. And we talked about the bullseye between Fredericksburg and Richmond. And then last Thursday night, I did a snowfall map for Southern Maryland. So, you know, look, nobody's going to beat ourselves up like we do, but I think we've done a pretty good job. And I'm proud of the team and proud of the forecast. Okay, so what else do we have here? That's funny, Nicole. You're funny. Well, I can speak up now. Well, it may not shift this time, John. I don't know. You know, it may not. Hey, Diane from St. Mary's County, you had some good snows, then you had some bad ice, and you know, you're going to get some of this too. I will say I didn't expect that type of a pattern in my winter outlook. I had you guys with not much snow this year. I had some ice down there, but not that much snow. You've done pretty well. I think you've had more snow than National Airport's had, I think, what are we at National? We are at 2. Yeah, we're only like at 2 inches at National. So that's pretty sad. Okay. This is Joyce. Trust you're waiting for. I know, Joyce. I'm trying to get that good snow for you. You know, and I will say the models have done this before. I think it was the late January, early February storm where we never really had that good burst of snow that morning. This is a little different situation because we're not waiting for the storm to develop. That might be worth explaining a little bit. So, like, when we had the storm in, I think it was late January, with the two-prong storm, and what happened was we were waiting for one storm to stop forming and then to reform. So, you know, what happens, you know, you get, that storm came in here and kind of died, and then another storm tried to develop and, you know, went off the coast. And sometimes we get gypped when we have this storm because it's dying out, and then we get gypped on this storm because it hasn't intensified yet. And that's kind of what happened that first of our winter storms, I think late January. The difference here, why I'm a little more confident that we will get something, is that this storm is one storm, and it's going to track about like this and not reform. So, and in fact, it's coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, which is a perfect track for us normally. I mean, it just, you know, just couldn't be any better. It's going to go like that, and then like that. Now, so it's one continuous storm, so we're not waiting for it to shift its energy. That's why I'm a little more optimistic, a little more confident that we're going to get this burst of snow Thursday morning. Well, we don't promise anything, Charity. We just show you models to show you what we look at, so you can kind of understand the process we go through. You know, they're just sort of for fun, really, but you try to pick up patterns, you try to decide which model's better in which situation, which models perform better so far this winter, and we're just kind of sharing that with you. I don't know, I think it's kind of, if I were you, I think it'd be kind of fun, because normally you don't get to see that sort of stuff. Let's see. We will get next week. Yeah, well, Wanda, you may be right. This might be our last chance. At least for a while, it's our last chance. Yvonne, I don't know how much snow in Upper Marlboro. I mean, I can't tell you right now. I mean, we try to hold off, you know, talking about snowfall accumulation so we don't disappoint you and so we can give you a more accurate estimate. I think I would just prepare for some accumulating snow Thursday morning, and if you got something to do, try to do it. If you have errands to do, try to do it Thursday. Try to finish it by Wednesday. Charity, I hope so. I hope one of these is correct too. Hey, Pansy. 3 to 5 inches on Wednesday night. Yeah, that's probably, Keith, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. You're going to get walloped in Frostburg. Yeah, Jacqueline, I think we'll get snow in Gaithersburg a little bit, yeah. Exactly, Brenda. We'd rather have snow than ice, right? I mean, we just would rather have snow than ice. I mean, it's not even close. And again, yeah, that's a lot of snow. I mean, this is getting our hopes up. I know. You know, I know. Listen. No one's more disappointed than you all with done snow, believe me. But we'll see. You know, we might get. I'm more confident with that burst. I don't know if you guys understood the explanation, but I'm more confident with the burst because we don't have that storm transferring its energy. We can just track the moisture. And usually, what happens, you know, when we do that, is that we get a pretty good slug of moisture coming up. The warm air rides up over the cold air and it dumps. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be a pure snow, but it will give us a little bit of snow before we kick to the usual, you know, sleet and freezing rain. I have an appointment for my vaccination Friday afternoon. Faye, you'll be able to go Friday afternoon. Should not be a problem. And good for you getting it. Oh, Brian, your shoulder's already hurting. Okay, good. I like that. David, how the heck are you? Great to, thanks for tuning in from Minnesota. Aye, Minnesota, yeah. Hey, Susan. So, Vanessa, again, I can't tell you exactly how much snow is going to be in D.C. I think we need to, just know that there's going to be some snow possible. And the European model, brings in pretty good snows by noon, 4 inches by noon. And then, another 4 inches by 6 p.m. Now, that is where I disagree with the models. I think that's going to be more sleet and freezing rain and not snow. So you look at the Euro and you think, oh, it's a pure snow. Well, it's not going to be a pure snow. Wish it would, but it wouldn't be a pure snow. So in contrast, American model brings in 8 inches by noon. Pretty close, but with more to the south. And then pops up, 2-3 inches, Hagerstown, Frederick, getting you guys up to the 7-8 inch range. Oh, sorry, Margaret. Ouch. Yep. Let's see. Snow in Woodbridge, Terrick. Yeah, there could be some snow in Woodbridge, yeah. Casey, raining in Bowie. Yeah, Casey, it is one of the most miserable nights out. We've had a couple of these where it's like raining in 35 or 36. It's pretty pathetic. Crystal, Petersburg in Grant County. You're going to get pretty good snows. I think we can pretty much guarantee you 6 or more. Okay. Thank you, Rich. Caroline County. Sonia, there could be some snow in Caroline County. Not a bunch. No, Preston, I wish. I wish. Joseph, Gaithersburg not calling for anything. I'm calling for some snow in Gaithersburg on Thursday morning. Charlene, it will not be 53 on Thursday and rain. No. What we're trying to tell you here is prepare for a snow ice event. It's not going to be a pure snow, so don't get your hopes up for a pure snow. We're not saying it's going to be a pure snow. We're just saying, hey, it has a potential for several inches and also has a potential for icing. And that's what I'm really concerned about, is the icing on the second half of Thursday. Hey, Jackie. Well, Lazaro, I mean, they haven't changed last minute. I mean, the GFS was pretty good. Remember, we're looking at things 4 days out and 5 days out. You couldn't do that 15 years ago. So you have to take these with a grain of salt, but also admire the fact that we can give you these numbers 4 days out. I've been in this business a long time. That was not possible not too long ago. So when you talk about forecasting 4 or 5 days out, yes, it's not going to stay the same. Rarely is a 4 day or 5 day, 5th day or 6th or 7th day locked in. Keep track of our 7 day and keep track of that 7th day, then the 6th day, then the 5th day, then the 4th day. It will change every day. But we get inside that 24 to 48 hour zone, then we can get more locked into changeover time, who gets the heavy snow, who gets the freezing rain versus the sleet. And that's going to be the key, really, with this, is who's going to get that accumulating ice or who's just going to get plain old-fashioned sleet, which is not that bad. Sean, 27 inches so far in Harper's Ferry, not too bad. Do you think this is the big one? No, this is not the big one. No, this is not the big one. I mean, it could be the biggest one so far in D.C., but it's not a big one, no. Lorton, Michelle, yeah, you get some snow in there, I think, yeah. Hey, David. Nice to see you're doing well up there in Minnesota. Amy, again, a couple 3 inches before the changeover, maybe more. It just, it depends on where this thing, tracks. And when we talk about models, remember the models are tracking these storms over the surface of the globe. If they're off 10 miles, that's a huge difference to you. But in the scheme of things, if you were giving the model a grade, it'd be a 99.9%. You see? That makes sense? I know. Michelle, yes, some in Lorton. Well, let's see, Judy. We'll see if we can get there. Joseph, Gettysburg, I think a few inches maybe Thursday before the changeover. Now, Fredericksburg's a tough one because, look at this. the American model is 10 inches in Fredericksburg. I don't think it's going to be that much snow down there. I think it's going to kick to sleet in freezing rain. So I'm a little skeptical of these numbers. And I'm also skeptical of 8 in D.C. I know, Lazaro, it's so frustrating. Arr. What are the chances of it all snow, Lazaro asks. Well, you know, if you're like Front Royal to Leesburg to maybe Gaithersburg or Clarksburg, north and west, there's a chance it could be 85% snow. A chance. Emily, Vienna looks a few inches, I think. You know, yeah. Is there a chance? Yes, there's, yeah. Yolanda, there's quite a chance for snow in Northwest. I mean, look at this. The model's got 8.2 inches here in D.C. It does have this odd little area of less snow, 1 to 3, but it's still cranking out 8.2 in D.C. It's on that, which is weird. I don't know why it's cranking out that much snow, because it doesn't fit the bands, really. Euro, you know, Lazaro, I will say, has disappointed me this year, yes. Which one is more accurate? I would have to say right now the GFS has been more accurate. Hey, Eunice from Montgomery County. I think several inches, depending on where you are. I mean, you know, again, Montgomery County is big. You could have 2-3 inches in Chevy Chase. You could have 8 in Clarksburg or Gaithersburg. So a couple more minutes, and then we're going to be wrapping up. I'll be looking at more data. I can tell you right now if the let me see if the other model is in yet. I might be able to peek at something here. Let's see. No. Nope. The new GFS is not in yet. Just a couple of panels are in. Martinsburg, David, you know, I think 6 inches is a pretty good bet. Frederick, Linda, I think Frederick could get 6 inches pretty easily, actually. Harper's Ferry could get 6 easily. I know, Eunice, it's just a horrible night in Montgomery County and across the metro. It's in the 30s and raining. That's just not be a February night. It should be snow. And, you know, I said this on the air, and I've told my family a million times. They think I'm crazy, but we wouldn't have had to change much to have one of, if not the snowiest Februarys on record. Really. Thanks, Pansy. Appreciate it. Madison, you know, Jackie, you could get several inches in Madison, and really, if you look at the American model, it's got some of the bullseyes down here. So, you know, we'll see. DC, we need snow. I know. Antoinette, I know. I'm ready for good snow. Yeah, 5 to 8 in Washington County, Robert. Yeah, that seems about right. I mean, I'm saying over 6. You know, rest is gravy. Cumberland, Cam, over 6. Frederick, I think 5 or more. Breadometer, well, we're not going to bring it out until Wednesday night if we bring it out. Martinsburg, Kathy, I think you'll get 6 at least. Okay, Tracy, thank you. Brittany, you'll get a pretty good amount in Winchester too, I think. So Front Royal, Dorney, you'll get pretty good in Front Royal. I think you'll get 6+. And that's what I'm going to say right now. Fauquier, if you're in Northern Fauquier, 6+. Southern Fauquier, 4+. Glen Burnie, April, yeah, you get some snow. It's hard to say how much. I'd say maybe, 1 to 3 at this point before the changeover. Waldorf, Francesca, it's tough. I mean, the models are going crazy down there. I don't think you're going to have the cold air. So I'm going to say 2 to 4, 1 to 3 for you for now. George, Friday will be a little messy, although we're going in the 40s Friday. It will get very cold over the weekend, but the first weekend in a month, we've had no storms. So, yes, good point, Sarah. Excellent. A lot of ice in Caroline County. Sorry about that, Johnny. I know, we'd rather have snow. I get you. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania will get some snow with this, although you may be too far north. You'll get snow tonight, though. Brenda's coming home Friday. Where are you coming from, Brenda? The road should be fine on Friday, but I kind of need to know where you're coming from. How long will the temperature remain low after the big snow? I have 2 more wisdom teeth to come out. Margaret, you could get them out on Friday. It'll remain cold over the weekend, but then but it's dry. And then Monday, I'm going 50 on Monday. So there you go. Lester, I want to bring the meter out. I do. Joyce, this really isn't a big one, but it may be the big one for this year. That's the problem. Shenandoah County, Laura, you know, you guys, some of the models are going 11 to 12 inches in this area. So we'll see. The models, Tarek, take in a lot of information from mainly the model runs, or I would say predominantly run on upper air data that balloons take readings twice a day. Some surface data is put in there. Some other algorithms are put in there. But that's why the intermediate runs I don't pay that much attention to. That's just pumped up with surface data. But you really want to have upper air data. That's the key. And the storm's on the continental U.S., so the models are able to see it now, which is good. It's not like it's hanging off the Pacific. So, I mean, they're going to lock in, I think, pretty soon about this. Washington County, Patricia, I think 5 or 6 is a lock for you right now. Planning to drive to South Carolina on Thursday. Should I delay? Yes, Nick, I would not want to be driving on that. I would go Wednesday, or you could probably get there Friday. Okay. So West Harper's Ferry. So you're going to get 5 or 6 easy. Yeah, Madison, Virginia, you're going to get some decent snow. Do you think the models will trend snowier? You know, I thought about that, Tyler, because the pattern is not bad. I mean, if you look at the surface pattern, it's actually pretty good. But we've seen this before where the surface looks good and there's just not the support in the upper atmosphere of cold air. So, we'll see. It's just we're still on Monday here, so we got, some time. But I think by tomorrow night at this time, we'll lock into a pretty good solution. And we'll do this again tomorrow night too. So, trying to show you here's a local model. I haven't looked at this. This may not go out far enough. Let me see. Yeah. So that goes out to noon. Now this model actually is kind of more the way I'm thinking. This has less to the south, a couple inches in DC, and 5, 6 in the north. That is the only model that if I had to draw a snowfall map now, it would look more like that than anything else I've seen. Because that just aligns with where I think the cold air is going to be and where the snow is going to be. I really do think that. Let me show you this map. I got to go away here. It's 44. So let me just show you this here. Okay, so if you look carefully here, we got cold air in place. All right, and this is 3 a.m. on Thursday. There's the snow, and this is the European model. Okay. And it's snow. It does click it in the afternoon to sleet or freezing rain for DC, but if you're in Hagerstown and Martinsburg and along I-81, it keeps it mainly all snow. Maybe at the very end it kicks to sleet and freezing rain. Now we're in the morning, we're after midnight Friday, but by that time the damage is done, and it moves out. So when you look at that, you're like, wow, that could really be all snow west of 95, but I don't think so. So. Okay. I got to go, everybody. Thanks so much. We will do this again. Oopsie. We will do this again tomorrow, and we'll probably do it tomorrow around 10, so I have new data in. And let's hope we have to pull out the breadometer. Let's hope I have to draw a snowfall map. Because as someone pointed out in the Facebook that if you look down the road, this is probably our last good chance for a while. I'm not saying we won't have another. We got my cutoff date's March 15th, but it's the last chance I see for a while. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. We will talk tomorrow.